G'day everybody, how's it going? Let's turn the car on and get going. Yeah, we want the AC on, it's getting a bit hot. How's it going? Today I'm just gonna take you for a drive and go over and talk about some secrets and hidden features about potentially hidden features. This car. About the Lotus Emira that I find pretty cool. Let's just pull out and get out of here. Alright, so yeah, with these secrets, some of them I find to be actually detrimental to the car, honestly, and some of them are beneficial, help out, I think. Yeah, some of them I find they're not very amazing, but that's what you're here for, to hear this, I guess. So, I guess let's start off with, the fact that the car's got hydraulic steering. So, pretty much all cars nowadays have electric steering. So, like an electric steering rack. Come on. Which kind of limits the steering feel of these cars, you could say. And having an electric steering rack limits its steering feel. But with having hydraulic, you pretty much feel what is going on with the tires. I know, electric steering racks, which I only found out that this car is actually electric steering rack. Although this feels pretty good, I think, handling wise. But yeah, they can be a bit vague depending on how it's set up, and you might not feel everything. But with hydraulic, you know what's going on pretty much. So, which is pretty good, because Lotus is known for their handling and their nimble, agile reputation, which comes along with because their cars are good with handling. I'm pretty sure with what I've seen with the Emira, that the steering's better than the Porsche Cayman, which is pretty cool, because that's also a well-known handling car, you could say. Yeah, Lotus is also known for their stiff chassis, so they're feels like one part the whole car, you could say, and also known for being lightweight. Although this is one of their heavier cars, because I know the earlier Lotuses were weighed maybe a ton, which is not very, that's pretty light. This car only weighs a ton, 1,000 kilograms. And, yeah, that's really light. But, the Emira weighs, I think, depending if you get the V6 or the 4-cylinder, the 4-cylinder's lighter than the V6. That's to do with, that changes the subframe in the back, depending on what you get, making it lighter for the 4-cylinder. And the 4-cylinder, obviously being a smaller engine, is also lighter. I forget how much lighter it is, maybe 50 kilos if you went with the 4-cylinder, somewhere along those lines. But it's 1,450 kilograms I think, for the 4-cylinder, and 1,500 for the 6-cylinder. So, I mean, that's still not like ridiculously heavy at all, but it's still like, it's got some weight to it. So, there's that. Another hidden thing is, so on the mirror, so this mirror here, on the rear part of it, there's actually there's a USB there, so a USB port, so you can, instead of having to like run wires from who knows where in the car and maybe break something in the process, like potentially, there's just a little USB up there where you can just straight up plug in your dash cam, for instance, or you could just plug in your I don't know, radar, which is quite handy. It's there. That's a good feature. That's not detrimental. That's very good. Another thing is that well, this might be obvious if you know the Lotus Emira, but this is something I find quite cool. So you can see the mechanical linkage in the manual shifter, and if you like move it around, you can see it, like the linkage for it moving around, which is quite cool. Although from what I've seen, you can't really see it when driving, but oh well. It's cool to know that that's there. But also that linkage could be a bit of a distraction, not for driving or anything, but because in front of it there's a little shelf, like underneath the initial console. There's another little compartment under there where you can store stuff, which you might not know about, and I think is pretty cool. And also there's also another USB-A port where you can plug in something into your car, run a wire somewhere. I think it has wireless Apple, is it Apple CarPlay in Android Auto? I think so, that's what it's called. I don't have it here, so I don't know the names. I'm pretty sure that's correct. I'm pretty sure that's wireless. If not, well, you've got that cable under there, and maybe you could use that for something else, that little connection. You've also got a USB-C port in the center console storage bit at the back, under the armrest, which is useful. The car also has a, surprisingly, you wouldn't expect this, honestly, some cars just don't come with glove boxes, and I'm surprised this actually did come with a glove box, surprise, surprise. But it's not a small glove box either, it's reasonably sized, which is pretty good. So you got that as an extra little storage pocket in your car. You got the glove box, you got the storage under the console. Well, storage under the armrest, sorry. Which is pretty cool. It's a bit hidden underneath the dash. Another thing is, so on the light switch, which for me is on the right side here, there's a little fog light button switch on there that you could turn on and off, but it's just completely pointless. It doesn't actually do anything, because there's no fog lights on the car, and it doesn't activate anything really. So that's a little pointless feature on the car, because like what's the point? It's just because it's a borrowed part from Volvo, well, like Geely. That's why that's there. Another thing is, so the V6 engine in the car is actually, of the two engines you can pick from, is actually the same engine as used in, well, the Toyota Camry, the Lexus RX. I think it's used in many of the models, actually. It's a very commonly used Toyota engine, which is pretty cool. And it also means, well, you get, well, it's a reliable engine, which is good. Although they have slapped a supercharger on it. I don't know how that would affect its reliability, but it's still the exact same engine. And it sounds quite good too. Another thing is, so in the boot of the car, this kind of sucks. It's not really a hidden feature, it's more of like a secret unless you can like read a sticker or like someone's told you. But the boot has a max weight to it, which is 50 kilos. So that's not amazing. I mean, you're not going to get 50 kilos worth of groceries, but it means I can't sit in the boot, for instance, because it might break something. I'm guessing it's due to the suspension. So they won't want you to break the suspension. I guess the suspension's set up so that you can have like the Lotus experience. It's for the drivers, as says on like the key fob. I think I've said this, oh maybe I haven't said this, but on the key fob there's no actual, yeah, that's right. So the key fob, the buttons on it, there's no secrets to it. It's just a lock, unlock and boot button, and there's no like remote start or anything like that if you do some button combinations. Well, from what I've seen anyway, it's just the buttons, so that's kind of bland. Also in the boot, there's the battery's in the boot, it's just hidden behind a little cover. So if you want to access the battery, that's where you'd find it. And then also if you open the boot, you can access the engine, and everything you need for servicing the car is there. You just have to remove the plastic cladding. Well, everything's there except for the brake fluid reservoir, which is underneath the bonnet. And same with the cabin filter, or like the air filter, is also underneath the bonnet. And that's locked away by screws, you could say. So in the boot you can find well, there's a toolbox bag thing back there with like tools in it, and also like a tyre repair kit, because it doesn't come with a spare tyre. And you can use the so the tools that you need to open the bonnet are in that tyre repair kit toolbox thing. It's not a toolbox, it's just a bag with a bunch of tools in it. And so how you do it is, on the bonnet is there's 3 little clips that you have to, not clips, like little covers that you have to pop open underneath where the windscreen wipers sit. And there's one in the center, one on the right, one on the left side of the car. And you just have to undo 3 screws. So in each of the covers there's 2 screws in there. So the one that you want to reach is the one that's slightly offset on an angle on the side, rather than the one going straight into the cabin of the car. So you just want to undo the little screws that are offset, and once you do that, the bonnet will be free just to lift up. So, well, not completely. It has hinges in the front of the car where you can pick up the bonnet and it'll just fold forward, and then you can like put up there's a little hole in there that you'd have to find a spot to put it in place. And then you can find there's a huge radiator on an angle, and then there's also the brake fluid reservoir's hidden under another little plastic cover, and then in the center is the cabin filter, air filter thing. I'm not sure which one it is. It's one of the 2. And yeah, you'll have to do that if you want to service your car properly if you do it yourself. If not, well, you can take it to the dealer and they can do that for you. And I believe that's all. Just give me a second. Is there something else? No. No, there isn't. Okay. Well, that'll do it for the Lotus Emira. There was definitely a few points there that are slightly detrimental to it, I would say. Having to disassemble the front hood to be able to get in there. Like, you could have like a latch or something to get in there. Or like the storage in the boot's a little disappointing that it maxes out at 50 kilos, but it's going to be rare that you actually go over that. And also the fact that, well, there's no remote start on the ignition, which would be on the key fob. That would be kind of cool. And it's kind of also sucks that there's no little, well, the fact that the fog light button or switch is kind of pointless. Why have it there? I don't know. But other than that, I love the car. It may or may not be one of my dream cars. But other than that, I think that'll do it for today. So, I'll see you later. Don't forget to subscribe. Comment what you might want me to have a look at next, like what car or something else. I'll respond to anything in the comments. And also, well, leave a like. And with that, I'll see you later. Bye-bye.